Good morning, students. This is Abhijit. You know that we are in the chapter 4 for class 10 physics, that is refraction of light on a plane surface. Here we have the chapter 4D and the topic is critical angle. See, we have three figures in the screen, and we are considering that the light ray is traveling from this water, that is optically denser medium, to air, that is optically rarer medium. So for those three figures we have the incident ray along A to O. See, A to O. So for the first figure we have the light ray incidenting with an angle I1 and the refraction occurs, so it is refracted along OB with an angle R1. Now in the second figure we have the light ray incidenting along AO with an angle I2. Now this I2 is greater than the previous angle of incidence I1 and the refraction occurs, so the light ray is refracting along OB with an angle R2. So here the angle of refraction, that is R2, is greater than the previous angle of refraction R1. Now for the third figure, again we have the light ray along AO. It is incidenting with an angle I3 and now this I3 is greater than this I2 and I1. That means this I3 is greater than the previous two angle of incidence and the refraction occur, but now there is a special refraction. That means the light ray is refracting along the surface. It is along OB and it is along the interface, that is the surface separating the two media, air and water. And here the angle of refraction, which is R3, is equal to 90 degree. So this R3, which is equal to 90 degree, see, this R3 is equal to 90 degree, which is equal to the previous two angle of refractions, that is R2 and R1. It is greater than R2 and R1. It is greater with a value 90 degree. This angle I3, for which the light ray is incident on the surface and we have the refracting angle 90 degree. This I3 is called C, that is critical angle for this given interface. So we can define the critical angle as the angle at which, when light ray is incident from a denser medium, it refracted by an angle 90 degree, and this angle is called critical angle of that interface. So we come to Snell's law for this case. Okay, so here we have the water air interface and we know that the Snell's law is the ratio of sine of angle of incidence. See, here I3 is the angle of incidence and sine of angle of refraction, here R3 is the angle of refraction, which is equal to a constant called refractive index of that interface. Here we have water air interface, we have the refractive index of air with respect to water, that is W mu A. And in the previous classes you know that this W mu A can be written as 1 by A mu W. Here A mu W, we have a fixed value of A mu W, which is equal to near about 1.33, that is equal to 4 by 3. So we have here A mu G, that means the refractive index of this water, this medium water with respect to air, and for this W mu A we can write 1 by A mu W. Now see, for this sine I3 we can write sine C, because this I3 is equal to the critical angle which is represented as C, and this R3 is equal to 90 degree. See, this R3 is equal to 90 degree, so we can write here sine 90 degree. You know that sine 90 degree means the value is 1, so we have only sine C here, and here we have the formula, the sine C equal to 1 by A mu W, and this is the formula for critical angle. We can use this formula to find out the critical angle of a given interface. Now if we take the reciprocal, you know that sine C, the reciprocal of sine C is cosec C, and here we have 1 by A mu G. If we take the reciprocal, it will become A mu W. Sorry, it is A mu W. Okay, so sine the cosec C, here C is the critical angle, is equal to A mu W. This is also a formula for critical angle. So how we can use to find out the critical angle of different interfaces. First we have one example for water air interface, that is we have considered about. So you know that a mu g, that is the refractive index of water with respect to air, is 4 by 3, near about 1.33. So we have the formula sin c equal to 1 by a mu w, that is the refractive index of that interface, and for this we can write 3 by 4. For this 4 by 3 you can write 3 by 4. You know the mathematical calculation. So here this sin c is equal to 3 by 4, and this 3 by 4 equal to sin 49 degree, near about sin 49 degree. We can use the sine table for this. So we got the value c equal to 49 degree, and this is the value of critical angle for this water air interface. In the same way we can find out whatever the critical angles of different interfaces like glass air interface, diamond air interface, and etc. So this critical angle depends on some factors. So what are those factors? See, it is written here that for greater refractive index, see it, for greater refractive index mu, the deviation is larger, and hence it is most possible to refract by 90 degree, by an angle 90 degree with less angle of incidence. I am going to explain it from the figure. You can see, suppose that here we have water. If we take this medium as glass medium, then the refractive index of this medium will increase, that is mu will be greater. Now for the same angle of incidence we have the angle of refraction greater, because this is only because the deviation will be greater for greater refractive index here, that means for glass in the place of water. So the deviation will be greater if we take greater refractive index. Okay, if we incidenting the light from a medium with greater refractive index, then the deviation will be greater. So there will be a most possible circumstances, most possible situation to refract with an angle of 90 degree, R3 90 degree, when we take a lesser critical angle. That means whenever we take, see this condition, if we have this I2, okay, and this one is not air, this is glass. So here for I2 we can get R2 which is equal to 90 degree, because here we have the greater refractive index, so the deviation will be larger as compared to this. Okay, so this I3 become the critical angle, sorry, this I2 become the critical angle for glass. Okay, but this I2 is lesser as compared to I3. So this I3 here for this given condition, I3 is taken as C, that is the critical angle. But if we replace this water with glass, we get the critical angle as I2, which is lesser than I3. That means the smaller and critical angle we can get if we have greater refractive index. Okay, now it is that means the critical angle C is completely dependent on the refractive index. Okay, so see the second point on which it is dependent. C, that is the critical angle, depends upon the wavelength of light, that is the color of light. And in the previous classes we have visited with this relation, that is lambda dash equal to lambda by mu. Here this is the change in wavelength. That means whenever the refractive index increases, there is a decrease in wavelength. So if wavelength increases, so wavelength increases, that means the refractive index is decreases. So as the refractive index decreases, so C increases. So that means C increases with a decrease in refractive index, that causes increase in wavelength. So finally we can say that the C increases when the wavelength increases. Now again see the third point, C depends on temperature. You know that the refractive index of a medium depends upon the temperature. The refractive index mu decreases when the temperature increases. For the hot air, the refractive index is lesser as compared to cold air. Okay, so here the temperature decreases the refractive index. Okay, So as the temperature decreases the refractive index, so C increases when mu decreases. So C increases when there is an increase in temperature. So in these three factors, the uh, overall we can say that C is, that is the critical angle, completely depends upon the refractive index mu, and we can say that it is depend on wavelength as well as temperature, because those affect the refractive index. Now see this, we have completed with the critical angle. Now we are here know about total internal reflection, and for this see again we have three figures. For the first figure, I is the angle of incidence incidenting from a denser medium to a rarer medium, suppose glass to air or water to air, that is denser to rarer medium. Okay, so here it is refracted with an angle r. This r is lesser than 90 degree. You can see from the figure r is lesser than 90 degree. Okay, now for the second condition, when we have this IC as the angle of incidence, which is equal to the critical angle C, then we know that if we have the critical angle, then the angle of refraction will be equal to 90 degree, and the light ray refracted along the surface that separates the two media. Okay, so here we have refractive index is equal to, I'm sorry, it is a angle of refraction which is equal to 90 degree. Okay, for this critical angle C. Now suppose that we go beyond the critical angle and incident the ray with an angle which is more than critical angle C. Here this I, the angle of incidence, is greater than this IC, that is C. Now what happened? There will be a greater angle of refraction. Here we have the angle of refraction 90 degree, so here will be, there will be the angle of refraction greater than 90 degree. Okay, so see this one, the light ray is incident along OA and it is not refracted, because for the previous figure we have the refracted ray toward OB along the surface that separates the media, but here as we have increases the angle of incidence I beyond C, so the light ray refracted with more angle, so it is reflect back, I am telling, reflect back on the same medium along OB. So this phenomenon is called the total internal reflection. Okay, see, for those two figure, we have the refraction, the phenomenon of refraction, and for this figure we have the reflection. And here you know that for reflection, angle AO and dash, see, AO and dash is I, angle of incidence, and NOB and dash OB, that is here the angle of refraction. You know that the laws of reflection, which is equal to I, that means I equal to R, that means those two angles are equal. Now see this figure. See, in the first point, that is chapter 4a, we have cleared about the partial reflection and partial refraction. Okay, so see this figure. Here light ray is incidenting from this point A. Okay, so it is incidenting at the point O1, and some of the light is reflected along OB, and some of the light is refracted along OB, and some of the light is reflected along OC. Again here it is incidenting at the point O2. Okay, some part of light, that means some amount of light is refracted and some amount of light is reflect back. Okay, now for the third time, when those two are partial reflection. Okay, for the incident at the point O1 and O2, there is a partial reflection, with certain refraction. Now for the third time, here the light is incident at the point O4, sorry, at the third time it is O3, and it is refracted toward OD, and for the fourth time it is incident on O4, you can see on O4. Okay, and it is, there is no any refraction, the light is completely reflect back on the same medium, and this phenomenon is called total internal reflection. So the light is totally reflected, completely reflected to the same medium, that is the denser medium. So we have the definition of total internal reflection like that. The phenomenon of light, see, this is the phenomenon of light to reflect back completely into the same denser medium after incidenting on a surface of rarer medium at an angle greater than the critical angle of the given interface is called the total internal reflection. That means the phenomena is called total internal reflection. So there are two essential conditions for this total internal reflection. See, the first condition is light must travel from denser medium and incident on a surface of rarer medium. And the second condition is the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle of the given interface. Okay, these are the two essential conditions for the total internal reflection to be occur. Now we compare the total internal reflection with simple reflection. See, simple reflection, that means the reflection through a plane mirror. So the first point is given, the total internal reflection obeys the laws of reflection. There are two laws of reflection. First is I equal to R. We have gone through this, that I equal to R. So it obeys the laws of reflection. Now see the second point. In simple reflection, see, in simple reflection, an opaque object with a polished surface, that is the mirror, okay, reflect the light, whereas in total internal reflection, the surface of an optically rarer medium, and light is incidenting from a denser, and the surface of the optically rarer medium reflect the light. Now see the next point. In simple reflection, some amount of light or light energy is absorbed by the surface, okay, but in total internal reflection, because there is a separating surface, that means surface of rarer medium, and that's why the light is not absorbed there. Okay, remember that light is not absorbed there. The light is reflect back completely, so there is no any loss of light energy. There are some applications of this total internal reflection. Occurrence of mirage. Okay, you know about mirage. If I show you a picture, you can see this one. It seems like some water is there on the surface of the road. See, this happens because of total internal reflection. So here what happened, see, these represents the layer of atmosphere, and the upper layer is with cooler air, okay, and here the hot air is present at the bottom layer, okay. So light ray is coming from the cool air region, that means from the denser medium, okay, to the rarer medium. So it is what I say, it go away from the normal, okay. See, like that, it is coming from this denser medium to the rarer medium, so it go away from the normal, and here it is completely reflected back. So total internal reflection take place here. So this is called mirage. This phenomenon is called mirage. Some other applications are also given in your book, like point number 2, 3, 4 and 5 you can see in your book, and point number 5 is given here, optical fiber. So in optical fiber, there is a transmission of light signal over a long distance without any loss of energy. This is only because there is no any loss of energy, so light signals can transmit up to a long distance, okay. So, and one more application is formation of rainbows, okay, due to total internal reflection through a raindrop. You can see the two figures, you can understand those 2 points. See, first of all we have this figure, it is a rainbow, okay. How the rainbow is formed, see here, the light ray is incidenting like this. It is a raindrop, you can see. And first of all, there is a refraction. Okay, that means light ray incidenting on this surface, and it is entering to the water medium from air to water. This is raindrop is a water medium. Now inside the water, here this one is denser medium. Okay, remember that inside the water it is traveling from a denser medium, and here it is incident with an angle greater than critical angle, and it this is the interface of air. This one is air medium, and this inside the raindrop there is a denser medium, water. So there is if the light ray is incident with greater angle, greater than critical angle, then it will be reflect toward this. Okay, then there is one more refraction. So this inside the raindrop there is a phenomenon of total internal reflection. Okay, now see this figure. This shows the optical fiber. Okay, so here if we transmit the light rays, so the light rays transmit up to a long distance in the form of light signal without any loss of light energy. So this is the phenomenon of total internal reflection inside the optical fiber. So this is it for this class. Thank you.